James, are you busy? What on earth are you doing calling me at this time? Sorry for calling you so late. I just had something that I wanted to talk to you about, that's all. Well, I introduced Mom and Dad to the girl I want to marry today, you know? They said that they could give me up to $370,000 for our wedding, and to help us when we start our new lives together. What? How do they have the money for that? Where is it coming from? How can they possibly afford to give you that much for your wedding? I don't know, really. I did ask, and Mom said that they own some land in the countryside somewhere, and the area is being developed now, so the land is worth that much. She said that they were going to sell the land and give me the money from it to help with the wedding and our house. Things like that. You better treat them well after this, you know. You know that our parents don't have a lot of money. Selling that land and giving the profits to you will be a big thing for them. Of course, whatever. Anyway, how much did they give you when you got married? What do you mean? When you got married, Mom and Dad must have given you some money towards it all, surely. Did they give you more than they're going to give me? If they did, I think I'm going to feel a bit hurt. I've always been their favorite, as you know. They didn't give me anything. Don't lie. I'm not a baby anymore, you know. Do you think I can't tell if you're lying to me? You just aren't telling me because they gave you more than they said they'd give me. That's right, isn't it? You're just trying to stop a fight breaking out as usual. I really didn't get anything from them, you know. Amy and I just had a simple wedding with savings that we had and some money that her parents gave us. That's why I'm saying that you better treat Mom and Dad well after all of this. We didn't get anything at all, and now that you're getting married, they suddenly have all this money to just throw around. Really? You mean to say that they really didn't give you any money at all when you married Amy? Okay. Anyways, let's meet up sometime, the four of us. Hey, you're so immature sometimes, you know. What do you mean? You can't just do whatever you please like that. We're really busy lately, you know. Other people have lives too. What are you going on about suddenly? I wasn't being rude or anything. I just said that the four of us should meet up. That's all. I don't know what your problem is. Just try to be a bit more polite, okay? It's not like I'm demanding that you meet us at a certain time or anything, is it? No, but you're going to be head of your very own family soon. So you better learn to think a bit more before you speak. That's all. For how long do you think that Mom and Dad are going to pay for everything for you and sort out your messes? Please just grow up a bit, will you? James, you're just angry because Mom and Dad are helping to pay for my wedding, but they didn't pay for yours, aren't you? They've shown you yet again that I'm their favorite son. No, it's not that. I think it is. You don't have to get so jealous all the time. Do you hate seeing all that money being spent on me or something? Do you think that I'm not worth it? Is that it? You gave up so many things for me when we were little. Have you still not got used to that? You shouldn't be thinking that way. That you'll just get everything given to you. That money wasn't originally meant for you, was it? And there's no reason why I have to keep giving things up for you either. I'm saying, just think of it as you paying Mom and Dad back the money later and treat them well. That's all. What? Both Mom and Dad said I don't have to pay them that money back. Why are you bossing me around like this? Do this, do that. What does any of this have to do with you anyway at the end of the day? I'll do what I want, so stop worrying about me. You're only interfering now because you're jealous. It's really annoying, you know. What? What did you just say? I've had enough of this now. I just wanted a nice conversation with you, but I don't know why I bothered. I should have realized by now that you'd be like this. You always have been, after all. I'm going. Bye. Oh, Mom. What are you doing here? You didn't call to say that you were coming or anything. I just decided to come and see you because I have something to say to the both of you. That's all. Hi, Mom. Why don't the both of you sit down a minute? I heard that you spoke to Paul on the phone the other day. Well, I guess you must know why I'm here then. Yes, I do, as it happens. Did you have a fight with Paul again or something? Oh, so you haven't told Amy yet then. I guess it doesn't matter whether she knows or not, really. I was just on my way to tell you in case you got the wrong end of the stick. That's all. What are you talking about? What did you come to tell us? It's just that Paul is getting married, and we've agreed to give him $370,000 towards the wedding and their new life together. That's all. Pardon? $370,000? Mom, you really didn't need to come here and tell us that. I already know, don't I? If you'd explained it nicely to Amy, I wouldn't have had to come all the way over here, would I? He only didn't tell me because I didn't really need to know, I'm sure. You're so frustrating sometimes, James. Your brother is 8 years younger than you, but he knows exactly what's going on and just does everything without being told. Oh, why can't you be a bit more switched on like he is, eh? Can you even do the work you're paid to properly? Mom, James is one of the most hardworking people I know. I think you're being really cruel to him. What did you say? Amy, it's fine. Just leave it. I don't think I can anymore. I've been trying to put up with it for 3 years now, since we got married. But I really don't think I can this time. So what if you can't put up with it? Do you think I'm scared of you or something? Mom, you are not only against our marriage from the start, but you didn't even give us a penny towards anything. But now that Paul's getting married, you can suddenly afford to give him $370,000? I can, yes. What's wrong with that? I've only said that I'd give my son some money when he gets married. I don't see what all the fuss is about. James doesn't seem fussed about it. I don't know why you should be. The only reason James is acting like this is because you've treated Paul better than him and done everything for him since they were young. And he's just given up now. I don't want to see him hurt anymore by you. That's why it's me that's making a fuss, as you call it, rather than him. Aw, you're just so devoted to him, aren't you? Devoted! It would be amazing if you'd use some of that love and devotion on me as well. You didn't help us out at all when we got married, and you're always interfering in our lives. What has happened to make you treat us like this? What have I supposedly done now? I haven't even done anything, and you're always getting at me like this. Go and ask your friends about their mothers-in-law. You won't find another like me, that's for certain. Of course, you're one of a kind. It'd be hard to find another like you. A mother-in-law who discriminates and looks down on one son over the other. If there was another like you, I'm sure it would put young people off getting married. Have you quite finished now? What have we done that is so bad that you just keep picking on us and getting in our business like you do? Amy, that's enough now. Hey! Do you think that if you talk to me like that I'll get scared and apologize for only loving Paul for all these years? Well, you're mistaken. Mom! Do you know how hard a time I had when I had Paul? I lost 2 babies before giving birth to him. Why are you getting involved in our family business when you know nothing about it? Mom, she is part of this family. It's her family too. She is my wife after all. You shouldn't treat people like you do. What are you talking about now? If it wasn't for Amy, I don't know if I would have been able to live such a normal life as I am now. She's the woman I love, my savior. So I want you to stop now, Mom. How can you act like this towards me when I gave birth to you and raised you all of these years? And you think you should be treated like a firstborn when you act like this? You should act like one, you moron. Mom! So you're going to hit him as well now, are you? I've had enough of the pair of you. Every time I see you, I just feel so frustrated. How are the two of you so alike? I don't know how you've met and married someone exactly the same as you. You're a bad son for bringing a girl like her into our family to start with. James, don't listen to her. It doesn't matter. It's not like it's the first time she said something like that to us, is it? It's okay. I know. Just go nuts together or something. Oh, why can't you be soft and tender like Paul is? He's so kind and polite to his elders and would never even dream of bringing a girl like that into our family. You don't even have a good eye for people. Why on earth would I love someone like you? I heard you told Paul off too yesterday. Me? When? I never told him off. He said that you told him off when he called you. You said that he was still young and didn't know how the world works, and that he should make sure to pay the money we give him back and be good to us. Why did you say something like that to him? Who told you to talk to him like that? He's not wrong saying those things to Paul. What are you getting mad at him for? Paul's not a baby anymore, Mom. He should know how to act and speak to others at least by now. Of course he is. Does saying that you're going to get married make you an adult? He's still so young. And you're going to have to support Paul for the rest of your life. That's your fate. So don't even think about getting out of any of that. Paul's over 30. Of course he's an adult. What else would he be? How long are you going to keep babying him like this? To hear you talk about him, you'd think that he was still in school or something. That's why he has no manners and doesn't think before he speaks. What? Have you finished now? Amy, stop it. You're just making things harder for yourself. There's no point in arguing with her like this. We always come off worse at the end of the day. You know we do. If I keep putting up with all her nonsense like this, I think I'm going to make myself ill. That's all. Ill? You're saying that you don't want to hear what I've got to say, right? Yes, I am. If you like Paul so much, don't come and see us anymore. We don't want to see you. You are an unwelcome guest to us. What? Mom, if you've said all that you came to say, I think you should leave. Please. The two of you are standing there with fire in your eyes trying to kick out your mom, are you? I can't stand to be around the two of you any longer either, if I'm honest. I'll go. You can see yourself out. Take care. How can she have the nerve to speak to me like that? You'd better come to Paul's wedding, the two of you. You need to greet the guests, after all. Okay, Mom. Let me know the details later. I'd appreciate it if you stopped raising your voice in front of Amy, too. I don't want to talk to the two of you now anyway. Still, you'll have to help at the wedding. Your little brother's getting married. You should lend a hand to make sure the day goes well, at least. I've finished now, so I'll be off. 2 months later, Paul got married, and they went on their honeymoon straight after the wedding. I don't know if Nikki had realized what her new in-laws were like, but she brought back a lot of presents. She bought designer gear for Mom and Dad, and some rubbish that you could buy here and would hate to receive as a present anyway for James and I. I was so annoyed. Nikki spends so much time with Mom that I sometimes get confused as to whether it was Paul or Mom that she married. Because of that, Mom loves her and always takes her aside for everything, and is always making me do all the work and cooking when we meet instead of her. Nikki doesn't do anything around the house, her own or Mom's, even though she is apparently a housewife, having quit work after marrying Paul.
What are you two doing rushing over to the hospital like this anyway? You should both be at work, surely. What are you doing here? There's nothing you can do anyway. I don't see the point in you all making the room so crowded like this. I feel like I'm in a zoo or something.
Dad, I can't believe you got cancer. How has this happened? How are you feeling, Dad? Mom, what have the doctors said? They said that he should be fine after he's had the surgery, but I'm not sure, really. You know how much your dad usually drinks, don't you? I'm worried that even if he does get better, with all his drinking, it'll be really difficult for his liver to recover.
I don't drink that much. Why are you saying things like that? You have no right to talk to them like that about me. You all being here is making the room really crowded. I can't be dealing with it right now. So why don't you both go back to work?
What are you going to do here by yourself? We'll stay with you for a while. Ew, come with me a minute, will you? Excuse me? Do you mean me? Of course I do. Why else would I have been looking at you when I said it? Who did you think I was talking to? What are you planning to say to her now? You can tell her here, in front of me. It's something that you have no need to know about. It's fine, James. I'll be back in a minute.
You go out too, James. I want to be on my own for a minute and get some rest. I can't stand having so many people here just gawping at me.
You be quiet. Someone has to stay with you. Didn't you hear what the doctor said? Someone's gotta be here to call someone in case something happens. I don't know why you're being so stubborn today. I really don't. All of this is difficult enough for everyone without you being awkward on top of everything else. Mom's right. James, you stay here with your dad for a minute. I'll be right back. Mom, what do you have to say to me? Why did you bring me out here on my own like this? I called you out here because I didn't think that it was right to say this in front of James, you see. What is it that you want to tell me? You saw Dad, didn't you? He's going to have to stay in the hospital for a long time because of this cancer. Yes, I guess he will. I think you should look after him during his stay here. Excuse me? You want me to look after Dad? Of course! That's why I'm talking to you and not to anyone else, isn't it? Are you not listening to what I'm saying and just thinking of something else at the moment or something? No, that's not it. I'm listening and not thinking about anything else. That's not the problem at the moment. I really don't understand how you can be so stupid sometimes, you know. It's so frustrating even talking to you because you're just so slow. You weren't trying to get me put in this hospital too by any chance, were you? No, of course not. It's just that I have a job. I have to go to work. How could I possibly look after Dad? I know that, don't I? You can get some time off or something. Or you could quit and look after Dad until he gets better. Then go and get another job, can't you? Mom, it's not as simple as that. I'm sure you know that too. How can I leave the company I've worked at for years now and then look for a job somewhere else later? We don't even know how long Dad's going to be in hospital for, do we? What? Don't say things like that. You'll jinx it. Your dad is in hospital because he's got cancer. You should be hoping and praying that he'll get better soon. You can't even do that. You know that isn't what I was saying, Mom. And this is a hospital. There are sick people here. Can you lower your voice a bit, please? You're shouting really loudly at me in a public place, and it's actually quite embarrassing. Do you think I can just lower my voice right now? Just like that? After the way you're acting? Stop making excuses. You're going to look after Dad starting from today. Starting today? I have to go to work tomorrow. You know that. I think it will be a bit difficult for me to start today, Mom. So you want me to do it instead? I'm too old for all of that now. How am I supposed to stay here watching him and running around after him all the time? It's so noisy and difficult to sleep in hospitals as well. Do you want to see me suffer? Is that it? You want me to get sick too from running around after Dad, don't you? Nikki doesn't work, does she? I'll ask her to come and look after Dad instead. Mom, you better go home and get some rest if you're that tired. What? Have you lost your mind? How could you possibly get her to come all the way here to look after Dad? Don't you even think of mentioning it to her. Excuse me? Why? What's the problem? She doesn't work, so calling her to help is the perfect solution. She's not like you. She's so skinny. There isn't an ounce of fat on her. How is she supposed to take care of Dad all day? She's not strong enough to be able to be of any use at all. You do it. Mom, you really are being too much now. It's not like she's sick or anything. There's no reason why she can't look after Dad. What do you mean? I don't see how it's me who's being too much when it's you that won't take care of Dad. What exactly have you done for our family since you married James anyway? You should at least do chores like this. Chores? I've done all the chores you could possibly ask me to do from the day we married right up until now. You never gave us anything when we got married, but you have so many demands and requests all the time. Oh, that's how you really feel, is it? So you're hurt because we gave Paul all that money when he married, but we didn't give you anything. Is that it? You really have become a money grabber now, haven't you? It's nothing to do with being a money grabber. You didn't help with our wedding, and you aren't even nice to us most of the time. What gives you the right to make all these demands of our time like this? You have so many demands and requests all the time, and I just can't take it any longer. You even told me to quit my job to look after Dad. How do you think you have the right to ask things like this of me? What? I can't believe you're talking to me like this. If you really want me to take care of Dad that much, then I'll do it. But I can't do it for free. I'll be quitting my job to do it after all, won't I? If you can't even help us out like this, then why on earth did you join our family? Did you come to take money from us or something? Yes, I think that I should get what I deserve. So if you really want me to look after Dad, you'd better give me $370,000 too. What? $370,000? Yes, that's right. That's how much I'm worth, you see. I'm really expensive too. Were you not thinking about paying me when you told me to quit my job to help? Did you expect me to just do it for nothing, even when you obviously have money to throw around these days? If you don't pay me, I'm not going to do it. You really have lost your mind this time, haven't you? What's the point in even speaking to you anymore if you're just going to be like this? I've had enough. I don't have anything else to say to you, so you'd better go. I don't even want to look at you anymore. Seeing as you've told me to go, I'll go and get James and we'll leave together. Could you possibly be any more frustrating? You really make me mad, you do. James, do you have time to talk for a minute? Yes, I do. What is it that you want to talk about? I asked Amy to do something for me yesterday at the hospital, and her reply just shocked me and made me so mad. What was it that you asked her to do? I was going to ask what the two of you were talking about before we left. Amy wouldn't say anything about it to me. I just asked her if she'd look after Dad in the hospital for me because he is sick and I am too old to do it myself. And she said that if I wanted her to do that, I'd have to pay her. Pay her? Yes! When Paul got married, we sold some land and gave them $370,000, didn't we? Well, I don't know if it's because she's jealous or what, but she wants the same amount. She said I'd have to give her the same if I wanted her to look after your dad. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Is that really the way to speak to your mother-in-law? Mom, I'm sorry, but I can't put up with any of this any longer either. What do you mean? What have I done now? It was Amy who was rude and unreasonable, not me. I mean that even if you tell me things like this, I can't take your side anymore. Do you mean that you agree with what Amy said to me? That I haven't done anything for the two of you, so I have no right to ask you to help me with things? Yes, I do. I don't want to spend any more of my life just giving in and answering your many demands when I don't get anything back in return. You don't even care about me. Why should I spend my life running around after people like you? What good will it do me? It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous, you say? You and Dad have always given me the hard jobs, while buying Paul the best clothes and feeding him the best food. Why do I have to do everything you want me to? Look how you're acting towards the parents who brought you up now that you've brought that girl into our family. You were never like this before you met her, you know. Her father-in-law could be 6 feet under soon. How could she say something like that at a time like this? Even if Dad dies, will I get anything? Dad told me that he's left everything to Paul. I really don't understand why I have to ask my wife to look after him. You really have been bewitched by that stupid cow, Amy, haven't you? If the two of you got divorced, she'd be nothing to you, but you're putting her above your family. No, it's not me that's been bewitched, Mom. It's you. You've been bewitched by your perfect son, Paul, and his perfect wife, Nikki. My wife, Amy, is more of a family to me than you, Dad, and Paul have ever been. From now on, I'd appreciate it if you didn't ask anything of us, or contact us anymore. Are you saying that you're cutting contact with us now? Yes, I am. That's exactly what I'm saying. Your dad is lying in a hospital bed with cancer, and you're just going to throw him away. Just like that. You were never like this before. All of this is Amy's fault. That's whose. She's made you act like this. Mom, please, stop this now. What has Amy ever done to you? No matter what happens, you always blame her. I hate both you and Dad for how you treat her. The woman I love. What did you say? You and Dad only want Paul and Nikki anyway. I don't understand why you keep interfering and annoying us all the time. When have we ever done anything like that to you? I understand why Amy didn't want to look after Dad in the hospital. I really do. What? Are you saying that you agree with how she acted towards me yesterday? On the way to the hospital, Amy and I had already agreed to take it in turns looking after Dad after work, you know. She wasn't like she was because she didn't want to look after Dad from the start, you know. Well, you should do it then, shouldn't you? Why aren't you? Mom, when things like this happen, the whole family should get together and help each other out, you know? Even though Amy and I are busy at work in the daytime, you and Nikki are free, aren't you? It would have made sense if you and Nikki took turns looking after Dad during the day, and Amy, Paul, and I could take it in turns to come after work and help then. If you think that would be too difficult, we'll just have to hire someone to do it, I guess. You and Amy could do it between the two of you, surely. Why do you have to get Paul and Nikki involved too? They're so young. Me, on the other hand, I'm so old now that I'd probably exhaust myself so much that I'd end up going before Dad. Of course, we should do it between ourselves. I just really don't think it's right that you, the person closest to Dad, decided that you aren't going to help at all, and just push it all onto us like you always do. That's all. You didn't even mention helping to look after Dad to Paul when he went to the hospital, did you? The two of you are going to do it. Why do we need to make it difficult for them as well? That's a very you answer. That's just what I'm talking about. You'll have to get them involved this time, though, or do it all by yourself, I think. Amy and I don't want to be used by or hurt by you anymore, you see. He's your dad! The dad that helped raise you all these years. What do you mean you don't want to get hurt anymore by me? You make me seem like a really evil person, you know. You're the one who hurt us, so of course you don't remember any of it. Stop making excuses and trying to ignore what you've done to us over the years. My wife and I aren't going to put up with it any longer. Just leave us alone, won't you? Oh, I'm the one who hurt you, am I? Did I beat you or something? What is it that I've supposedly done? How can you speak to me like that? I don't want to have to deal with any of this anymore. From now on, we aren't going to answer calls from you, Dad, or anyone, so don't bother trying. And if any of you try to come over to our apartment, we're going to report you. So don't even bother trying. Report us? I'm going to hang up now. Have a nice life. Bye. James, wait a second, please! Is there anything else you want to say to me? Yes, there is. If the two of you don't want to look after Dad, then I guess there's nothing I can do about it. I'll give in to you and hire someone to look after him instead. You'll have to pay for it, though. You want us to pay for all of it? Or are you going to ask Paul for some money as well? You were the ones who said that you weren't going to do it, so you're the ones who should pay to hire someone, of course. You're the big brother. Why do you keep trying to make Paul pay for things and help out all the time? It's so stingy, you know. I've really had enough now. This is the end of you and me. James! James! He obviously thinks that money is more important than me and his dad. What was the point in raising him for all those years for it to just end like this? Nikki, are you busy?
Oh, hi, Mom. Is anything wrong? Why are you calling me?
No, nothing's wrong. It's just that you haven't called me for a long time now, so I just wondered if it was because you were really busy or something. That's all. I haven't called you to tell you personally, but you've heard what has happened, haven't you?
Yes, I did. Dad's in hospital, isn't he? I heard that he had liver cancer. He's okay, though, isn't he?
Okay. Well, not really. I'm staying at the hospital to look after him today and tomorrow, and I don't know if it's because of my age or something, but I'm finding it a bit hard if I'm honest.
Oh, I see. It must be difficult for you to take care of him like that. Why are you doing it?
Well, I asked James and Amy to help, but they just got mad with me. They even had the nerve to ask for money to look after their own father. Can you believe it? Every time I think about it, I get so mad.
What? Amy asked you for money? Wow, I didn't think she was that kind of person. Did you just let it go? You should have made sure that she did it right to the end.
It turns out that she did it because she was jealous that I gave you that money when you and Paul got married, you know. Amy said that she'd do it if I gave her $370,000. I was so shocked. I couldn't believe that she'd do something like that.
Wow. Did Amy really say that to you?
She did! Then James just followed her lead and said that he wasn't going to contact us again, and told me not to contact him either. He said that he'd call the police if he saw us near. I don't know what I've done to deserve all this bad luck that I seem to be getting now that I'm in my later years.
It's okay, Mom. You still got us. You weren't that close to James and Amy anyway, were you? What does it matter if you can't contact them anymore? It's not the end of the world or anything, is it?
That's true. I feel a bit better knowing that I have you and Paul. Anyway, talking about that.
Yes, Mom? What is it?
You don't go to work and are at home all day, aren't you? Do you think you would be able to come to the hospital to help look after Dad, please?
Excuse me? You want me to go and look after Dad?
It's not that difficult, and it's something that anyone can do. There's no reason why you wouldn't be able to do it. I'll show you everything. So get your stuff together and come to the hospital, will you?
No, I don't want to. You only called me to ask me to go and look after Dad at the hospital, didn't you? How can you try to make me do chores like that?
What do you mean, chores?
That's what it would be. I have never even done housework before. How on earth did you think that I could look after Dad? Just imagining it makes me feel disgusted.
What? Did you just say that looking after your dad was disgusting? How dare you say such a thing? We've been so good to you as well.
Did I tell you to treat me like that? If you think that that measly $370,000 was your idea of treating me well, then you're very much mistaken. If you really want to treat me well, I'd like it if you didn't make me do things for you or your family.
Measly $370,000. Do you know where that money came from? How could you say that? We sold land that we'd kept for years to give our baby Paul that money when he got married.
Well, you should have doubled it. That doesn't buy anything these days, you know.
James and Amy are annoyed because we didn't give them anything when they got married. You shouldn't be acting like that. If you're going to be like that, you can give the money back, can't you?
You didn't give the money to me anyway, did you? You gave it to your precious Paul when he married me, didn't you? Do you want to take it away from him again? If you did that, he'd really hate you, you know. Could you cope with that, I wonder?
You're going too far now, Nikki. You really are. You're at home right now, aren't you? I'm going to go there right now, so you stay exactly where you are.
I'm not at home, actually. I've come away on vacation with my friends. I've got to go now anyway. Bye!
Nikki! Nikki! Hey! Once we'd left, Mom tried to go to Nikki for help and got rejected by them, too. It was really good to see. In the end, Mom, feeling sorry for herself, asked for the money that she gave Paul and Nikki back and was abandoned by them as well. It was obvious that Nikki was in control of everything that was going on, but Paul ended up being foolish and losing the parents that had loved him unconditionally all his life. Nikki took the $370,000, but as soon as Mom asked her to look after Dad at the hospital, she cut them off just like that. Mom ended up taking care of Dad throughout his hospital stay, having been abandoned by her sons and daughters-in-law. Nikki lived in luxury, spending the $370,000 that Mom and Dad had given them, fought with Paul, and then started going in brothels and places like that. Paul found out what she had been doing, and she ended up somehow asking him for a divorce. They only found out all of this because Paul called James and told him what had happened. As Paul had always been mothered so much and had his every need seen to by his parents, he wasn't ready to live alone, you see. However, as he was no longer in contact with his parents, thanks to Nikki, he ended up calling James, I think. James treated Paul coldly, recommending that he should act his age in a stern voice and stopped answering his calls. In the end, Paul and Nikki caused chaos, saying that they were the injured party in the divorce. People say that love that begins with money ends with money. Well, that is exactly what happened with my in-laws. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more content.